Hello. So I was reading my comments the other day, and on basically every single one of my Minecraft challenges, there is one comment that always comes back. Do it in hardcore. And personally, I'm not a big fan of hardcore challenges. I don't really think it would add anything to the video apart from making it longer to record. And if anything, it might even make them less entertaining because I would naturally play a lot safer. But you know what? Fine, I'll do it. And I'm even gonna take it one step further. When you think about it, in hardcore you have to beat the game without taking lethal damage. Well, what if we tried to beat the game without taking any damage? And the rules for this are simple. We have to beat the Ender Dragon with absolutely zero damage taken. So let's get going. We spawn on top of a tree, so we dig down from the top to avoid fall damage, mine a bunch of cobblestone, and after getting a few basic tools and a bit more wood, we start to wander around looking for iron. And on the way, we end up finding a shipwreck. However, it's not the most accessible shipwreck, so we will have to do a bit of digging in order to find the chest. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's time to try again, but this time I decided to properly set up the world by putting my health bar at half a heart and activating hardcore mode. So now we're ready to go. This is genuinely the very first time I'm making a hardcore world. I might get trolled by the shape of the tree. Wait, I need to check. Yeah, good thing I checked. I was about to get trolled. This is actually a pretty terrible biome for this challenge. Let's get some wood. Okay. Let's try to quickly explore this cave. You know what? This is actually pretty good. Since we can just put doors and there's no mobs that are gonna spawn in here. Alright, nothing interesting. I think underwater caves are gonna be the solution here. They are safer than regular caves. Alright, so we didn't find iron. Whoa, maybe we will find iron here. Iron! Yay! We need at the very least 3, but preferably a bit more. Hello, little squids. Ooh, lots of iron in here. I think we have enough. Okay, after exiting this water cave with enough iron, we get a bit of wool so we can make a bed. And since we're going to use villager trading to get the pearls, I grabbed all of the clay I could find on the way, and also cut a bunch of trees in this dark forest. Alright, now it's time to find this village. So we peacefully get some food and start searching for the village. Oh my, what are those biomes? Oh my god, jungle now! Nah. What the f is this? I don't know what this creature is and I don't want to know. Is it a new mob? I don't know, it looks like a flying apple or something. Anyway, after trying to leave this forest for 20 minutes, we end up finding the village. So we make the blocks for a mason and a fletcher, and we start trading all of the resources we got on the way, which gives us a lot of emeralds. Also, when I was trading with the cleric, I found a wandering trader, and that gave me an idea. I don't think I care about... Oh. I actually do care about this. We could do something goofy. Anyway, we still need a few more emeralds, so we cut a bit more wood. That's a pretty cool house. And we finish trading for everything we need. A bow, 4 stacks of arrows, and a full stack of ender pearls. And now we're ready for the nether. So we start looking for a lava lake, and we quickly find one. So we make the nether portal. But before going to the nether, it would be nice to have a bit of obsidian, so I went looking in the underwater caves to try and find some diamonds for a pickaxe. Will we find some diamonds? Well, there it is. Have the diamond. If we can find a bit more, that would be nice, but I don't think we need. Oh, there we go. Please tell me it's a 2 vein. I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh. Alright, I'm not gonna grab this. It's inside a cave. The game trolled me. I don't really know how that happened, but yeah, I got a lag in single player somehow. Cool. Should I try to find another vein? I'm out. I'm out. Alright, now that we have some diamonds, we make a diamond pickaxe. Iron pickaxe, I don't need you anymore. I'm making a diamond pick. Boom. And after getting a bit of obsidian, we're ready to go to the nether. But first, we need to talk about the strategy. You see, normally you just enter the nether and wander around carelessly until you find the fortress. However, in our context, doing this would be pretty dangerous, because a lot of things could go wrong on the way. So instead of traveling through these dangerous areas, what if we traveled through the safest place in the nether? The roof. There is absolutely no mobs and no obstacles up here, so that would be perfect for us. There's only one issue. How do we get there? Normally, the most common way to glitch through the nether's roof is to use a ladder and an ender pearl. However, using an ender pearl deals damage, so we can't do that here. But thankfully, there is one item that somehow comes back for the 4th time to save the day again: the boat. Unlike most mounts that drop you whenever there's free space, the boat acts a bit differently. It only has 2 options. If the block directly in front of you is air, it drops you there, but if there's a solid block in front of you, it drops you on top of the boat, regardless of anything else. This means that if you place a boat just under a ceiling with a solid block in front of it, leaving the boat will make you clip through the ceiling. And if you do it fast enough, you can even avoid the suffocation damage from glitching in the ceiling, which means we can use it. The only downside of boats is that you need a 2x2 space to place it down, which is a bit difficult to find at the highest layer of the roof. Okay, now that we have the strategy, we need to get to the roof height, so we dig a little staircase. Wait, that's the old texture? That should work. Perfect. That actually looks ugly to me, but whatever. And after reaching the top, we spend 10 minutes digging around until we find a 2x2 space at the correct height. Yes! And now we just have to place down the boat and clip through the ceiling. There we go. Hehe. Boop. And we're good. Okay, now that we're on the roof, we can safely travel around. But wait, how the hell are we gonna find the fortress up here? Well, we have our trusty pie chart. Fortresses always spawn with a bunch of blaze spawners, and this fancy pie chart can detect chunks with a mob spawner in them. So by carefully lowering our render distance and maneuvering around the chunks, we can pinpoint the exact location of the mob spawner. Now, you might have 2 questions. Firstly, how can you tell apart a blaze spawner from a magma cube spawner? Well, I can't. So I'm going to hope that it's a blaze spawner. And secondly, being on top of the blaze spawner is cool, but how do we get down from the nether's roof? Well, remember when I say this? I actually do care about this. We could do something goofy. Well, it's time to do something goofy. First, we write down the coordinates of the blaze spawner so we can come back here later. Then we run all of the way back to the very spot where we glitched through the ceiling. And now, we're going to use an item that will allow us to glitch back through the ground. the boat. I like boats, did you notice? A few minutes ago, I said that leaving a boat only has two options, directly in front or directly on top. Well, that's the case if you're running the game with regular settings. But if you set your maximum frame rate to exactly 20 frames per second, you can glitch through the ground by entering and exiting the boat on the same tick, which we will be able to use to go back to our starting portal. However, when we used the boat to glitch through the ceiling, we left a boat on the way, which might block the way when we're trying to go back down. And that's why I bought some gunpowder from the wandering merchant. By placing a TNT on top of where the boat was, we can destroy the boat under it, allowing us to clear the way. So we place our TNT, set our frame rate to 20, and after carefully placing the boat, it's time to clip through the ground. That is not exactly what was planned, but I guess it worked. Okay, that was a bit scuffed, but it worked. So now we just have to find our way back in this mess of a maze and return to the overworld. Bro. Okay, now we can just take the coordinates of the spawner that we wrote down, multiply them by 8, and boom! That's where we need to go to portal straight into the fortress. So we ride our trusty boat, and let's get going. Right, that's the spot. And now, let's see if it worked. Oh, there it is. Alright, now that we're in the fortress, we need to find the blaze spawner. So after dealing with a stray blaze, we very carefully maneuver around the fortress, and we end up finding the blaze spawner. But finding the blazes head-on with just half a heart would be very dangerous. So instead, we're going to dig down to safety, dig a little place to bait the blazes, and by setting up slabs in this way, we can safely shoot the blazes down without them being able to shoot back. So after a few minutes of farming, we grab all of the blaze rods we need, and we safely dig back to the coordinates of the portal. Should be here. Okay, we're good. Now the next step is to find the stronghold, so we triangulate its location and start moving towards it. Bro, mushroom biome, let's go. Oh, according to my calculations, the stronghold should be here. Huh, so I am slightly off. Huh, ocean exposed. Big. Not gonna lie, the library is not really my favorite space to start. That is an interesting stronghold. Oh wait, I have 2 diamonds. Perfect. Alright, after crafting this very useful tool, we extremely carefully explore the stronghold, maybe a little bit excessively safely, and after taking care of a few mobs, we find the portal room. Oh, portal room, okay. We'll close everything. Should I dig it? I think I'm safe now. So now we just have to place down the eyes, and it's time for the dragon fight. But before fighting the dragon, we'll have to destroy the crystals, so we safely shoot them down. Okay, we're good. And now, it's time for the final fight against the final boss of the game. An angry dragon shooting balls of poison and charging at any time, with a single hit being enough to end the whole run. But thankfully, after hours of theory crafting and experimenting to find the most optimal strategy, after thoroughly researching the safest approach, the master plan, the most intricate tactics possible, we make a very big tower and shoot at the dragon. It can't reach us. We're too high. Yay! Well, after this very disappointing fight, we boat down to the portal, and we did it. We beat Minecraft without taking any damage. So we take a final picture and finish the game. No!